asking about, what am I sort of struggling with my website, and what are the tips that I need to really get more out of my website, both to find the results that I'm looking for, create the conversions that I'm looking for, and continue to grow my online presence. So that plays into the conversation of website maintenance and management. It's really reasonable for any business owner to ask, what are the aspects of website maintenance and management? What are the processes that I should be thinking about, keeping top of mind, and constantly working towards to improve the content, design, and optimization of my website? And how do all of those things play into the marketing of my overall business? So, website maintenance and management is ongoing efforts to continuously improve your website, optimize it, and find, sort of the shortcomings that you may be experiencing and overcoming them. And I think the big takeaway that I want everyone to have from this webinar today will be, number one, that your website is never a finished product. It's always something that you should be looking at as a marketing tool, number one, for your business. And, just like any other marketing tool, it needs regular care and review and optimization to continue to drive the results that you're looking for, and really create that results-driven online presence that is going to help you meet your business goals. So let's explore some of the ongoing maintenance and management, sort of ongoing concerns and processes that are really important to both find the results that you're looking for and continue to grow your online presence. So the first big one that I really want to highlight is page edits and design updates. So, you never want a site visitor to come to your site and see, this stale, hasn't been updated in forever website. It's been 3 years and, it's just obviously looking behind. It's not properly representing your business, because your website is the digital face of your business, and whether it's a first impression or a returning impression, it always matters. So, keeping your website from a design and overall sort of presentation standpoint is so important. You want to continuously be looking to improve the sort of design and representation of your business, your products, or your services. And this really applies to whether you just built and launched a new website, you spent all these weeks and months and you spent all this money and you put together a great website, or you've had a website up for years. You should still always be looking at it as, we need to be kind of looking into the overall presentation and experience of our site, to continuously improve messaging, search engine optimization standards, focusing on the presentation to kind of guide conversion journeys, and really just trying to keep things up to date so that it's properly representing your services or your products, and staying up to date with what's going on in your business. It happens all the time where a business will say, we haven't really updated our website in a while and we have all these new services or new team members. You want to keep all of that up to date so that it's kind of growing with your business and really properly representing you. The next big part of that is content editing and publishing. So, it's very much part of the overall presentation conversation, but really content is king. It's the most important aspect of telling your story, conveying the messaging that you want to get across. And also, it's a big part of, helping people understand what it is that your business does. So, continuously looking to improve your content, not just from a messaging standpoint, but also from a search engine optimization standpoint, and also for conversions. Publishing targeted content is really all about looking at the metrics and analytics of your site. So going back to what I was just talking about with page edits and design updates, you're looking at the metrics of your site and the analytics of your site. And now you can start making data-driven decisions about, is this content on this page effectively telling the story that we need and driving the conversion journey that we need? Is it meeting the search engine optimization goals that we had? And, through, making those sort of like data-driven choices, you'll, be able to look at, hey, we kind of need to change the messaging on this. We need to, reorganize some of the content for, better focused keywords for search engine optimization. And as you're kind of going through that content editing experience, you're going to grow your online presence and you're going to create the better outcomes that you're looking for. So, a big part of this also is about always adding, not just optimizing the content that you already have and making it as best possible to represent your business and be optimized, but also adding new content to your website. So the best way to do that is often blog management. This is something that's so overlooked when it comes to a lot of businesses, especially that I come across over the years. Blogs are just not really something that people realize the true, just opportunity that is there. So maintaining an active blog is so important to driving relevance for your business, becoming an authority on Google, and really helping to not only keep your existing audience engaged, but have new people find you, which is really what we're looking for. And it's so often that people don't realize, the more that you are effectively blogging and putting blogs out there, you're not only keeping your existing audience with you and continuously coming back, learning new things and re-engaging with you, but you're opening doors to find new people, new leads, new customers. And what we call this is EAT, is expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Because the other aspect of finding that new audience and really putting out that new content is relevancy, and really expanding where your website kind of stands, especially with search engines, because the more topic focused blogs that you're putting out that are relevant to your services, your industry, and what your business does, it's going to not only educate your existing audience, but it's also going to let Google know, hey, this business is continuously putting out great quality content that we know we can trust. So we know that they're an authority in their industry. We know that we can trust this information. So that's going to help rank your site better, drive more organic traffic to your site. And before you know it, you're going to have more leads and more customers. So, the power of blogs is so huge. And it is really something that, for adding new content, targeting, potential search engine organic traffic to your site, it's so huge. And especially now with Google's new generative AI experience that is kind of available for some people, but it's going to be really public very soon. The blog and content optimization conversation is only going to be more important. So you'll realize, so far I'm talking about, page design and user experience, optimizing your content, and kind of making your content, best represent your business as possible, adding new content with blogs. So all of these things are kind of encapsulating our next big talking point here, which is the one that everyone talks about, of course, search engine optimization. Really, when it comes to, the first few steps that I talked about, where, we are constantly working on our design and, really improving the overall user experience. We know we have great content and we're blogging, but without sort of like the foundational elements of what we call SEO essentials in place, you might have this great website, but if you can't be found, it doesn't matter. So, step one really of, when it comes to search engine optimization is making sure that that strong foundation for your site to be able to be crawled, indexed, and ranked is in place so that your site will, be able to rank appropriately on search engine result pages. So these kind of SEO essentials of what we're talking about are titles, descriptions, alt tags, proper structure of your website for headlines and content, and even things like your sitemap and robot.txt. These are all sort of like the baseline essentials, the foundation of your website to make sure that you're going to be ranking appropriately. As you kind of have that level 1 in place, and now you're seeing organic traffic coming in, what then you can focus on is optimizing the actual pages of your website and your blogs, of course, as well. What we call on-page SEO, and choosing for your service page, you're going to have a focused keyword or phrase, and really making sure that all of your pages of your site are going to be as relevant as possible to particular search terms or phrases that are really going to help take your site to the next level. Another really big aspect of SEO that a lot of business owners ask about inevitably is backlinks. So I'm sure this is going to come up in the Q&A. So I'm just going to say right now, we can talk about it more if anyone has that question. Backlinks are all about relationships. Essentially what a backlink is another website, hopefully a very authoritative website, who is sharing your content and linking back to your website. And this lets Google know that, hey, this website can be trusted as well, which also kind of helps your status within search engine results. The more relationships you're going to have within your industry, within your business community, and you can kind of be able to find those backlink opportunities from other people sharing you. That's how you're going to really achieve backlinks. Don't go with any of, someone who's telling you they can just buy a backlinks or anything like that. Backlinks are all about relationships. So for a lot of these SEO kind of conversations that I'm talking about right now, whether it's the foundational level or more on-page higher level optimization, pretty much, this applies to every website platform. Everything that we're talking about in this webinar today is not just focused on one particular website platform. So if you're using WordPress, you can use Yoast SEO or Rank Math. If you're using Wix, you can use their SEO Wiz, which they put a lot of time into and is a really powerful tool. Every website platform, for the most part, Wix, WordPress, HubSpot, Webflow, they all have really great SEO tools built in, because that's just how important it is. And the more that you can get sort of these baseline SEO essentials in place, your site's going to be found more. And then as you're continuously growing your on-page SEO, your site will gain relevancy as well. So the next big conversation that I want to have is, we have this great website, we're blogging, we got our SEO essentials in place, we see organic traffic coming in, but are we making the most of the traffic that we're receiving? That's where conversion rate optimization comes in. So conversion rate optimization is really about, whether you're receiving 10 or 20 or hundreds and thousands of visitors to your website, how are you making the most of the traffic that you're receiving? So, really looking to, sort of fine tune your website based on the visitors and understanding your audience, of course, to get the desired actions that you're looking for. Whether you want the visitors of your site to come in, fill out a form, make an online sale, book an appointment, we always want to be looking to really optimize our user experience of our website so that we're making the most of that traffic, we're understanding our audience, we're guiding them through that conversion journey to get the outcomes that we're looking for. Because everything we're talking about here in this webinar is all about results, right? That's what everyone's after. So, some typical kind of conversion rate optimization tactics are targeted landing pages. Again, using your metrics and analytics to make data-driven decisions, so huge. And you might be looking at your website and saying, people are landing here, but they're not navigating to our end desired action. So maybe there's something in the page layout, in the navigation of our website. There's going to be sort of these adjustments that have to be made. Even to the best, most beautifully designed website, there's always optimizations and sort of fine tuning that's going to be necessary to make sure that you're getting those desired actions and creating the results that your business needs. So you'll notice in the first half of, or the first, sort of beginning part of this webinar, we're talking about a lot of marketing things, great design, make sure your design is best representing your business, content optimization, blogging, conversion optimization, and certainly search engine optimization. But I really want to transition here into some other really important aspects of website maintenance and management that are all about improving your user experience and keeping your user experience as high level as possible. So one really big part of that is accessibility and compliance. So accessibility and compliance is actually one of the 4 big pillars of Google Lighthouse. When you can scan your website through Google Lighthouse, they're going to come back with best practices, search engine optimization, structure, performance, and accessibility. That's how important accessibility is. Accessibility is really all about making sure that your website is able to be engaged with by anyone. So you will see, some people have probably seen, let me just jump back, this icon here before, either the human icon or sometimes it's a handicap icon, it might be in the bottom left or top right of the screen. That's a tool similar to UserWay as one that I definitely recommend. What that tool does is it helps anyone with a visual, hearing, mobility, or developmental disability be able to engage with your website. Not only is this really important from both a social and legal responsibility standpoint, but why turn away business? We want everyone to be able to engage with our website. Accessibility is very often kind of an afterthought for a lot of businesses, and it's only, number one, going to become more important. But also you should be looking at it like, hey, we want our business to, include everyone and be able to be engaged with by everyone. And through some simple tools and tactics, like making sure you have a privacy policy and accessibility statement in your sitemap and linked in your footer, and certainly using a tool like UserWay, you can achieve that, and it's not something that's going to cost millions of dollars. It's, think of it almost like an insurance policy, and we want to make sure that, our businesses, being able to serve everyone equally. Another big aspect of accessibility and compliance is privacy law, especially if you're in California, like my business. CCPA, the California Consumer Privacy Act, is very important. GDPR, just as much so. This is all about how you're managing sort of like member data, user data, emails, especially your newsletters and things like that. We want to make sure that we're just meeting these regulations. Again, just to avoid any issues, to kind of keep up with social and legal regulation. And again, just kind of best serving, all businesses or all visitors to your business. Sort of the next big part of this conversation continues the conversation of just creating the best user experience possible, and that is performance and security. So when it comes to performance and security, everybody wants their website to load fast, right? That's number one. We want it to load fast, have a great experience, let people know that it's secure, and they don't have to worry about any security vulnerabilities. So certainly for platforms like WordPress, there is a lot of competition when it comes to hosting. So my main recommendation and takeaway that I hope everyone has for this is not all hosting is the same. Don't just buy the cheap GoDaddy plan just because it's affordable. You want to make sure that your website has all of the security, performance, and technical resources that is appropriate for your type of website, for the level of traffic that you get, even for your location. So some key aspects that I just want everyone to remember when you're thinking about hosting is you want to have an SSL certificate. Manage core and plugin updates is really huge, especially for platforms like WordPress. If you can get integration with a CDN like Cloudflare, this is huge and really helps with performance and security, kind of giving you that an extra level on top of your existing hosting. And again, really just making sure that your website has the technical, your website hosting has the technical resources to best serve your website to your visitors. and again, going back to the performance thing really quick, I really just want to highlight that, this applies to all platforms. So even if you're on a self-hosted platform like Wix or Squarespace or Webflow, you have to make sure that you're optimizing for ideal performance. Don't just be uploading huge images and videos into your website. You have to make sure that everything is optimized for web to create, both that fast and secure overall experience, and really just make sure that your website is serving your visitors with the best experience possible. So that kind of highlights a lot of the topics that we wanted to get into today. So let's just talk about next steps. So, I really just threw a whole bunch of information at everyone, and I only have so much time here right now in this presentation. Obviously, there are, much deeper conversations that we can take with all these subjects. But, the main thing I want everyone to think about, you're saying, okay, great, design, content, blogging, SEO, conversions, performance and accessibility things, don't feel like you got to do everything all at once. Let's set realistic goals on how to kind of make these improvements and continuously kind of, raise the enhancements of our website to both meet our goals and make sure that we're, kind of checking off some of these items. So, kind of recommendations that I make around this is set monthly, quarterly goals. So you say, this month we're doing this, to, 3 months from now, be kind of all set, and, to ultimately meet this goal, by the end of the year. That's kind of, setting it in a way where you kind of have like those short, attainable, kind of steps in the process. And that's just going to lead to both you, not feeling like you're just throwing darts at the wall and hoping everything sticks, and really seeing quantifiable results start happening. So, some big reminders that I want everyone to kind of take away is this applies to all website platforms, number one. Your overall design experience, content optimization, blog management, certainly all of the various website platforms have great blogging tools, SEO especially, and even conversion rate optimization, whether you're on Wix or Squarespace, Shopify, Webflow, WordPress. These are all the kind of topics that you need to constantly be focusing on to get the most out of your website and continue to grow your online presence.